Welcome back. I'm Carl Matsumoto.
I'm Josiah Matsumoto.
And
this is Motosport. Jared.
Welcome, Jared, as
Hello.
always.
Hello.
Yeah, to the home.
Hello.
Silverstone this week.
Indeed. The
I
iconic.
love Silverstone. It
It's
might be my
iconic.
favorite track.
Oh, really? Are you literally every F1 fan ever?
It's like classic for a reason.
It is.
It
It
is.
is. Honestly, it's a beautiful track. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's a fun weekend. It's a good time. Less exciting than Austria, but that makes sense. Just in terms of some of the racing, but like a lot of
I
I
great
feel like there was
racing.
a lot
It
of
was
good
good.
racing.
A lot of great
It was
racing.
good.
A lot of great, just less overtaking
Yes.
is what I mean. Because it's harder to overtake at Silverstone, which makes for more interesting racing.
Yeah. You like
For
can overtake.
Yes.
But it's hard and you got to work for it.
And it's
so fun.
fun. It's a fun track.
Love all those fast corners in a row.
Yeah.
Yes.
Zig and zag.
Zig and zag. You know what's also fun? Like, and I don't know what they are, but Silverstone is one of those tracks that's so legendary. Every single turn has its own name.
Yes.
That isn't the number. And it's so confusing.
I know.
But I love it. I think that's so fun. And it's like cops and maggots and weird, like stuff
It's
like
weird
that.
stuff,
I'm
yeah.
like, what are you talking about? Well, that
We've
turn.
been here so many times.
Yeah.
This
Hamilton
is it.
has a straight named after him, apparently.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that.
the Hamilton Straight. I was like, what? That's
You're still in the
wild.
sport. That's wild that you
Yeah.
already have something named after you.
That's incredible. I mean, for the
Makes
GOAT.
sense.
Yeah.
You gotta.
You gotta. All
Housekeeping.
right, let's do some housekeeping. Yeah, for sure. If you don't already, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on social media at motosportpod. Email us your questions at motosportpod@gmail.com. And check out some cool F1 related merch at M Market Co. on Etsy.com. Just search M Market Co. Some good stuff. Carl's sporting a shirt today.
I am indeed, as you can all see.
Oh, yeah, you
At
can
home.
all
Yeah.
see that.
Sorry for those of you that aren't watching the live feed right now.
Right?
Yeah, you're really missing out.
But check out the Instagram and you'll see some photos of them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We have some up there. Anyways, also, if you haven't watched the race, there's going to be a ton of spoilers, obviously. So watch the race or watch a recap or check out the grid notes for a revised recap. That's it.
On our Instagram.
On our Instagram at motosportpod.
Has the house been kept?
The house has been kept very well. I'm a great housekeeper.
Wonderful.
Still there.
What?
The house.
The house.
We kept it.
I love it.
Wonderful. All right, well, let's move on to Zoom in the news.
Hell yeah.
I only have one thing for Misbehaving Men, and I saw it. It's kind of been circulating some controversy that
I saw
happened
about this.
on the grid. Martin Brundle, who is a Sky Sports commentator, former F1 driver,
Yeah.
60-year-old white British
A
dude.
legend
A legend.
on F1 TV, apparently.
Yes, he is referred to as a legend, but he normally, for Sky Sports, also does a grid walk before the show, and he
Tries to interview celebrities.
exactly. He tries to interview celebrities, and he tried to interview Cara Delevingne, who was on the grid, and Cara Delevingne said no. Like, I was told not to talk to anyone while I'm here, so no, sorry, I'm just gonna politely decline. And he like turns and makes a comment and is like, I'm sure it would have been super interesting anyway, and just like walks away. And then like everyone on the internet starts going after Cara Delevingne to be like,
Yeah.
like,
This is
because this
our
guy's
Because
a legend.
this is
Yeah.
a legend. Why did you do that? And he kept, when he was trying to interview her, he kept being like, everyone has to talk. Everyone's, if you're on the grid, you're fair game and you have to talk. And that's, so he is mistaking his own, a rule that was put in place for him, and he's
Yeah.
mistaking the intention of it.
Yeah.
So in 2021 or 2022,
I think it was last year.
Megan the Stallion brought, like, he also tried to interview her on the grid, but she had her bodyguards, and her bodyguards like kind of jostled him and pushed him away. And so the FIA added a clause called the Brundle clause. That's literally all it's saying is you can't bring your security onto the grid, and so you just have to come as yourself with whichever team you're on. But it doesn't say anything about being required to talk to Martin Brundle. That's not the clause. The clause is you can't have extra security on the grid. And he kept being like, everyone has to talk to me.
You have to talk to me.
Everyone's got to talk to me. And she was like, no. And then she clarified, she was like, Alfa Romeo, I was a guest of Alfa Romeo, and Alfa Romeo representative said, don't talk to anyone. I was following it wasn't even like Cara Delevingne's agent who said, don't talk to
There's
anyone.
like the people who brought me
Everyone's
here.
just tearing her apart.
I know.
It's like,
People
you don't even
love Martin Brundle.
you don't even like F1. Why you get to go there and blah 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 blah. It's
Wait,
like
who says
there's
she doesn't
so
like
many celebrities.
F1?
There's so many celebrities there. Like this is Silverstone. Like I don't know.
It's a big event for celebrities. Yeah. Wild. That's so funny.
And it's such like a non-point because she was very just like, no.
Yeah,
and
she was
then
very polite about it.
move on. Like I don't know. It was not anything. It was not anything to even talk about. But it became a whole thing because
It's so
I feel
fun.
like I saw memes about it. Didn't look up the context, so didn't really pay attention to them.
Sure.
But yeah, it really is everywhere.
right.
Yeah.
It's all over. Yeah, people are talking about it. And like it reminds last year at Silverstone, not Megan Thee Stallion, that's not what I'm thinking, but Brad Pitt was there. And same thing happened with him. Like brushed past Martin Brundle, and Martin Brundle was like, "Hey, can I get an interview?" Even though literally Brad Pitt was on a don't interview list that was given to Martin Brundle, but the internet was like, fuck Brad Pitt. Like, he doesn't respect anyone. He doesn't care about the sport. He's just here for the movie, blah, blah, blah. Like, he clearly doesn't understand who Martin Brundle is. And like, no, he like is on a schedule.
Yeah.
And is literally not supposed to be spoken to.
Yeah.
And that's been agreed upon by everyone except apparently Martin Brundle.
Except for Martin Brundle, who's creating own rules in his head.
Yeah. So weird. And like, I don't want to disrespect Martin Brundle. I'm sure he's
This is a Martin Brundle hate podcast. That's what we're about now.
no,
That's what
I mean
we
like
do.
I'm sure he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna try with everyone and why not? And like try to get an interview and like he probably gets more than a lot of people would. Like,
Absolutely.
and that's great. And he has his own energy. But like at a certain point, just like respect people's boundaries.
Yeah.
They don't have to be interviewed by you.
Even her boundary.
No.
She was
It's like,
following
can't do it.
team orders.
Sorry.
Literally.
Like, no, there's no rule that I have to talk to you. In fact, there's a rule that I cannot talk to you. Oh, man.
Martin Brundle.
Martin Brundle.
Silly.
What a legend.
What a legend. But speaking of Brad Pitt was romping in the paddock. this
Topical.
weekend. Yeah. He doing a lot of romping around
Romping all over the
as
place.
Sonny Hayes.
Or, I thought it was Haynes. Is it Hayes?
I'm pretty sure it's Hayes.
It doesn't really matter,
Hayes,
but
yeah.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, started filming this weekend for
Mm-hmm.
the F1 movie that
Yes.
Lewis is executive producing.
Yes.
Love to hear it.
Yes. Yeah, so they had a whole garage set up there, and then you were saying they
Yeah.
had cameras all around the track.
Yeah,
And-
they're filming like a lot of track action for sure.
And it
Yeah.
seems like the drivers will be in the movie because they were shooting like Brad Pitt and
I think
Oh,
it's
the
gonna
other
be
actor,
like
Damien.
Idris.
Yeah, Damien
Yeah.
Idris.
They stood and they were in like their F1 team gear, like their
I saw
jumpsuits.
this.
And
Damson Idris.
Damson Idris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they play teammates, and they
Yes.
were both there in their teams.
And they shot some scenes. I saw them like filming
And,
a
like, Carlos
walking scene.
Sainz
Yeah,
was in,
Carlos
like, a
Sainz
lot of
was in
the
that
shots,
shot.
Oh,
and,
really?
like,
Because
yeah.
they were walking
That's
back.
so
they
cool.
were leading them back from the national anthem, and so it was
Sure.
like those two in front, and then the rest of the drivers were just behind them walking
Yeah.
Funny.
back.
I think there has to be some sort of heavy B-roll of current drivers minimum.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah.
Well, and it makes sense. I feel like they're trying to make it feel like it's right now. And
Right.
this is now just an imaginary 11th team on this current grid.
Exactly.
And that's fun.
That's
cool.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I'm very
Yeah.
excited. And it feels like everyone's involved. Every team has had a hand in it somehow. Like I saw that Fred Vasseur had the idea to use a Formula 2 car and then
Yeah.
just make it look like
right.
a Formula 1 car. I'm not sure it was actually his idea, but I saw that. Who knows? So that's awesome.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah, I'm really curious about it.
It's going to be a potentially incredible film.
I really hope.
Or
it is.
way too much hype because we're way too ahead of it.
Oh, we're way too ahead of it.
Yeah.
But that's...
This is
yeah.
way more ahead of any movie I've ever seen. Like I've never known about a movie this far in advance. We were
Well,
talking
they're
about it
not
last year,
Normally, like... Yeah, we were talking about it last year.
and they just started filming this weekend.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And normally you don't get the filming broadcast to millions of people.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's
Whoa.
What a
kind
way
of
to
insane.
build hype for the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
What a marketing strategy.
So it could be just terrible.
but everyone's gonna watch it.
But
so.
I'm definitely gonna watch
The
it.
Absolutely.
B-roll is going to be great.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna watch it for the special features.
I just hope there's enough money to get it into Dolby so I can feel the
Ooh,
sound
that'd be cool.
in my chair.
Honestly,
Yes.
that's what it.
That would be
needs.
worth it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little rumble vibes.
Rumble, rumble. But yeah, apparently Javier Bardem is in the film. He
Oh, yeah.
plays the
owner. Yeah.
the team owner who's trying to get
Of
Brad
this
Pitt to
scrappy
come back
11th
into,
team.
yeah, back
Fun.
into driving. So funny stuff.
Yeah. So silly. I love it. Did you see the synopsis?
No.
So basically, do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Brad Pitt is like a former F1 driver that had his time, and he was one of the greats and whatnot, and a friend of Javier Bardem, who's also a former driver. But then Javier Bardem's character bought this new 11th team, doesn't have much money, but he's got this hot new driver, Damson
Damson
Idris, and just wants a star on the team to like be a guide or whatever. And that's the synopsis.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's
So he
apparently it's
convinces
like
Brad Pitt's
yeah,
character to come back to the
The
sport.
team is
Yeah.
really struggling.
Yeah.
financially. Yeah, So he wants-
Financially and performance-wise. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll see.
A classic comeback story.
That's going to be Alonso
Yeah.
in 10 years.
Right.
Coming back.
Right. That's
He'll
funny.
retire for a few. And
Yeah. And they'll buy a new team.
Buy a new team.
I'll be like, you got to let me in. I'm Fernando Alonso.
Yeah. Brad Pitt will buy an 11th team.
Yeah.
Put Alonso
But
on it.
Alonso,
Put Alonso
Do a
on it.
documentary about
That'd be
it.
so funny. I'm here for it. Let's do it. Yeah. I'd like to see Fernando own a team. That'd be cool because it would be Spanish team.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no Spanish teams right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
absolutely.
All right.
So that was that. Brad Pitt. Shakira was also in the paddock. Third race this season. So
Romping.
romping
Indeed.
and courting, perhaps.
Potentially courting and romping.
Romping for sure. Courting
Romping for sure.
perhaps. Yeah. I don't think I've heard anything
No
much
updates.
more in terms of the Lewis Shakira connection, but I mean every race that she's at, it's a little bit more
Right?
like
Or it's like, what are you? Just a fan of F1?
It's Possible.
Very possible.
Might be.
Yeah.
So curious how that develops, but no more news, just observations of who's been romping. And then I just saw this, like literally right before we started recording, but apparently it's not like confirmed, but very close to confirmed that Nick DeVries will be no longer after the summer break.
What?
And
Wait, what?
Yeah, Daniel Ricciardo.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wait, really? Because they said, like, for sure that wasn't going to happen. Helmut Marko did.
There have been things coming out that it's like an F1 insider, and there are like the statements are now much more definitive of like,
wow, silly
Nick
season
DeVries
is
is no
starting early.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real early.
They got to ramp everything up.
Ugh.
But yeah, and again, all fueled by our drama queen Helmut Marko.
We love our queen of drama, Helmut Marko.
Oh my god,
Honestly, always something to talk about with
such a
him.
drama
Yeah.
queen, and he loves to just.
So he's saying that's going to happen.
He's giving strong hints, and then there's an F1 insider that is like, it's definitive that Nick DeVries is no longer.
Wow. Wow.
So
That's rough. I don't think he deserves that.
I really don't think he deserves to be pulled mid-season.
He doesn't. Like, it's a terrible car. I
yeah.
don't think it's his fault. Daniel Ricciardo is not going to...
I
mean,
know.
Maybe, okay,
Maybe.
what? But they might just want to see him in the car, and maybe they are considering a switch up.
I mean, anything could happen. We don't know.
Man, Nick doesn't deserve that.
It feels pretty cold.
It does. It does. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
And in a terrible car.
Like, you can't say he's not doing worse than Logan Sargent.
right?
Here
And that's a
Williams.
better car.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
At this point, for sure.
It feels like Helmut Marko just doesn't like Nick DeVries.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Man, it's something weird. Yeah, why bring him up in the first place? And then why say you had somebody else to replace him and then it's not going to be that someone else?
Yeah, they said Liam Lawson was the name that
Sure.
Helmut Marko was throwing around originally.
Yeah, it was
And
like, this will
it's
be-
not going to be Daniel.
Yeah,
and now
it'll be
he's
this person,
back
Liam
on
Lawson.
the Daniel
But
train.
maybe they had that lined up for next year. or
Oh,
something like
and
that.
sure.
Daniel's just the
But, like,
interim.
yes, yeah.
That could be too.
Interesting. And then you think Daniel move up and take Checo's place?
I really don't.
I mean, I don't
see
think so,
that.
but like
Could be.
Checo's struggling.
Checo,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Do you think Checo would stay on the grid?
I hope so, but I don't know.
You think? Yeah.
It's hard to say when you're that far back on a teammate.
Yeah, but he's still top driver. Like, he comes back.
Yeah, but
If he
don't-
doesn't get second this year, I think Red Bull looks to drop him.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, I do think he'll get second. I think he'll
I
turn
think
it
so.
around.
I think so.
And I think he'll get second.
Yeah.
But he's far off
And if
Max.
he gets second, then they're not going to drop him.
yeah. Because then it's like, who else? Yeah.
But it's getting close for him right
Mm-hmm.
now. He has to step it up.
He does. He does. Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm looking at it. Perez is at 156. Alonso's at 137.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
one
Alonso's
race.
coming
That's-
back. Yeah, coming up on that. Would love to see Alonso take second, but not at the loss
Expensive
at the
Checo.
expense of Checo on Red Bull, because he's what works about that team for me.
I think
like
Lewis
him.
has a real shot at second.
Really?
I think so.
If I think he does against everybody else, unless Checo has that car. So if he can step it up, he
Yeah.
can get second for sure. But everybody else, I think
It's
Lewis
all
has a
up.
shot.
Totally.
I think
he's got a shot.
Got some good consistency already.
Yeah.
Like the amount of points he has are more than he should theoretically have with that car.
That's true.
That's
and
definitely
they're only
true.
improving
Yeah.
right now, and he's
They're going to
consistently
slow
up
down
there.
the improvements, though, because I saw some that they're talking about just moving on to next year's car now, because they're going to do pretty much a
Right,
new
right, right.
concept.
But like I think with this car, if he can keep getting like third, and
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
else is swapping,
It's just
up and
continually
down,
because he is pretty
he's
consistent.
Got a real
He's
shot
been
at
good.
getting
It's
consistent
true.
Points to get there.
That's true.
Everyone else
true.
keeps having issues,
Yeah,
off weeks.
that's true. And we got a lot of good
I mean-
tracks that suit the Mercedes in the back half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
It's
if you
like
keep
usually
having
really-
weekends like this, like if this is a one-off for McLaren and like it's a one-off for other teams to do well.
Exactly.
McLaren looked good,
But
though.
they are always like consistently third, right? There's Red Bull. Somebody
Yeah.
else is a little better than Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then Mercedes
Right.
is third.
But
yeah.
who's better and who's worse always swaps.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yes.
why Mercedes is number 2 in the constructors right
Solidly.
now. 'Cause-
Solid.
Yeah, which is wild.
Yeah.
Still
I know.
doesn't make sense.
I know.
Given the start to
Give
the
me that
season.
3 through 5 place every time.
Yeah, and it's really only because of Lance Stroll, though. If Lance Stroll
Yeah,
performed on the
Aston
level of
Martin.
Alonso,
Yeah.
Aston Martin would be in second place for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
But they have Stroll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that. So
And then you put
too
two
bad for you.
Mercedes drivers between your two drivers. Like, okay, you have a better car, but who cares?
Who cares?
Like,
Because you have
because
Lance
Stroll's not
Stroll.
getting points again somehow. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
god.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Anyway, we can move on to your
On to-
segment.
Get the heck out of my headlines. All right. First up, even the smallest team on the grid would rather choose Max Verstappen as their hero over Lewis Hamilton. Right? Right? What does that even mean?
Well, once again, it just means so this was an interview with Gunter,
right? Yeah.
And basically they were asking Gunter what they ask like everybody, like who do you think is gonna run away with the season? And it's like it's Max. Like no
Yeah.
one's gonna
It's Max.
no
It's
one
Max.
is gonna say anything other than Max. And they were like, oh, Lewis is coming up on Max.
Not
and
even
Fernando-
close,
And
though.
it's like, and he's like, well, like Max wins every race. Like what am I gonna say?
Yeah.
It's Max.
Yeah.
And so that's what the headline
Yeah.
turned into. The small,
How?
even the smallest team on the grid would rather choose Max as their
hero over Lewis. And that wasn't even the question. It wasn't like
Yeah.
That wasn't the question.
and that's not the situation. They're not fighting for
They're-
the championship. There is no
not.
fight for the championship. Let's make this clear.
Yes.
it's Max's.
It's Max's.
Literally, I'm saying like I'm very hopeful that maybe Lewis could maybe fight for second.
Maybe.
Literally, yes.
And
That's
it's
what we're talking
a
about.
bit of
Uh-huh.
a maybe.
And
yeah.
that's still a hopeful thing
because he's in
so far
fourth
back.
right now
I think so.
Yeah, fourth.
behind Alonso and Checo.
But he's just been closing that gap. That's all.
Definitely.
He has been closing the gap to
Yeah.
Alonso.
Definitely. And I want to see it, but
Yeah.
this is just
But yeah,
ridiculous.
that one was eye roll.
Yeah. All right. Max Verstappen.
Tapping.
Let's take that one back. Round 2. Max Verstappen takes a ride on a $10,350,000 G-Otel helicopter to deliver the ultimate message to Lewis Hamilton and co. Right? So this Max showed up to the track one day in a really nice helicopter
To
Right.
Silverstone.
to Silverstone.
Right, because
That
these are
is all that happened.
It's literally
That was it.
So they're saying the message is what him like.
There was
flexing?
no
Yes.
mess. Yeah, it was a flex.
they are saying they are
And that's the-
completely projecting that Max showing up in a nice helicopter because he's super rich.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't he? Is sending a message to the British teams at Silverstone.
Specifically Lewis Hamilton
Yes, of
and
course.
co.
Oh, because it's Silverstone.
Because it's Silverstone.
And everyone else like walked to the track like normal. And
Right.
he showed up in a helicopter.
Right.
And so like
And
I bet that happens
You have no idea.
sometimes.
That's probably some sort of like
Yeah.
promotional deal. It's
Honestly.
probably something scheduled that he's just like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. Like,
yeah, and it's
probably has
also
nothing
that's
to
how
do.
much the helicopter costs to buy it.
Yeah.
But like
But to ride
to
in
ride it, like it says later in there that like it's so many thousand per hour or whatever, but it never even said if it was his or not.
Right.
It doesn't matter either way.
And this is like Formula One.
This is Formula One.
Everyone does rich people shit that's
Yeah.
like
Literally.
over the top.
Yeah. And if you're putting a flex on, it's not like against anyone. It's just to like prop yourself up.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like, do you
Do
have
whatever.
fun? Like, obviously, you're stupid rich. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money.
Right.
Right.
Just reaching.
Hard. All right. Sergio Perez arrived at $5 million Red Bull fate after Lawrence Stroll's calculated betrayal of longtime servant.
Okay. What?
Shocking.
Right? Do you even know what this is about?
No, I can't tell.
It's
There was
literally
too many
about
threads.
when Checo moved to Red Bull from Racing Point,
Right.
which is old news.
Well, yeah, he's
to
he's
start.
been on Red Bull for
and the thing is, it was a $5 million a year contract at Red Bull, so that's his $5 million Red Bull fate. So he arrived there after Lawrence Stroll's calculated betrayal of longtime servant. Longtime servant is Checo.
of Racing Point.
Of that team. Was there for a long time, has done
Yeah.
well with them, was their first win, and they ditched him for Sebastian Vettel, and he found out about it kind of a weird way. Just like overheard Lawrence on
Why
the
is
phone.
this a headline now?
Right?
They're
That's what I'm trying to figure
recapping
out.
Years of things happening into one headline now.
Yeah. And none of it makes sense. It's like nobody asked for this.
And none of this
And-
is related to anything
And it's not like a
happening now.
calculated betrayal. You switch to drivers, that happens. It does.
Yeah.
You're taking the team in a new direction.
Yeah.
You want
I mean, you're
a
literally
championship
doing
driver to be the
calculation.
face of it because your son sucks. And that's just that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Wild.
That one really needed to be broken down for
I
me.
know,
I
that
was
was
like, what is
so
going on
much.
here?
That was a tough one. It
And then I was like, oh, yeah.
Years put into that.
years put into that. And such old news. And it's not that dramatic. Ugh. All right. Professor Brian Cox told McLaren how to improve pace before rocket ship qualifying. This is the dumbest thing. Okay, so apparently Professor Brian Cox is like a celebrity scientist, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
Wasn't aware of that. Whatever. Maybe it's a British thing. Not sure. Doesn't matter.
Must be.
Must be. But was on an interview with Lando or someone and was like, and Lando was like, oh yeah, how do you make our car faster? And he said something about like, oh, well, I know how to do it, but it's illegal. Like there's regulations, so I can't do that. Like, but I just put a rocket on it.
Right.
And I'm like, but the headline infers that like this person told them how to set up the car
Yes.
Right.
to give them better performance.
Right.
Because it says like to improve pace before rocket ship qualifying. Like, no, that's not at all what
That's also like
happened.
really misconstruing like the use
Yeah.
of rocket ship. Like he's literally saying,
Put
"Oh
a
yeah,
rocket on
as a
it."
joke, I would put a rocket ship on
Yeah,
it."
literally.
So-
I'm like, and that's not about improving pace. It's like, what? No, what?
Wow.
So aggravating how hard they work to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Wow.
This is a good one. Alex Albon is literally shedding blood and sweat to get Williams back to the glory days.
True that, honestly.
Honestly, it is kind of true. This is the most true headline because he actually, apparently, most races, his shoulders bleed a little bit
Whoa.
because he's too tall.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
the
yeah.
constraints aren't made for it, so he has to kind of hunch in a weird way, and like it rubs
Wow.
against his shoulders, and he kind of bleeds a little bit.
There's nothing they can do about that.
Right? That's what I was like. I'm like, what?
Not at Williams.
apparently not at Williams.
This
not
is
in the
very
budget.
True.
Yeah.
Alex's
This is
shoulders
Red
get
Bull.
sacrificed.
Right? And he was like, I didn't know this was like not common.
It's not everyone else.
He's like, I thought this happened to everybody. I just like, that happens to me most of the time. It's just kind of normal. Like it might have happened in the Red Bull too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like, Yeah.
Or maybe so he just hasn't said anything, hasn't complained
He's
about
just
it. He's
like,
just like, oh, every driver experiences
This is just how
right?
this goes. Yeah, this is part of being an F1 driver.
Poor Alex.
I know, right? Like, put some padding
Someone
there.
get Alex some
something.
shoulder pads. Jeez.
Just like put him in some football shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Driving that, good luck.
Too much weight.
Too much weight. That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you'd think that someone that
Maybe
tall
some,
would
like,
be too much
sponges.
weight,
But he's
Yeah.
so skinny.
right? He is very skinny,
He's so
but he's not skinnier
No, I
than
think
the other
that
drivers.
honestly plays into why there's not that many tall people in this. sport.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
definitely
think
think
it
so.
is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like being a jockey.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just more
It
suited.
helps. Yeah. Funny. But, well, I hope they find a solution to his bleeding shoulders.
Yeah.
It's wild. All right, this next one is 3 headlines that I find amusing when put together, because there's a good progression to it. Hamilton, Red Bull look-alike McLaren, an F1 wake-up call for Mercedes. 2. Toto Wolff responds as Lewis Hamilton makes Red Bull-esque McLaren observation. 3. Mercedes hints at rethink over Red Bull F1 copy.
It's just
God.
Yeah, what a series of headlines.
Right? Like,
Just
and
like obscuring this concept.
all of that comes from one quote from Lewis being like, "Oh yeah, the McLaren kind of looks like a Red Bull,
A Red Bull.
like, and that's why their pace is so much better.
Right.
Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's the fastest car on the grid. If you copy that, great. That's what everyone should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Or like,
And that's
is-
what he wants to do
Yeah.
with
Yes.
So, but the progression of that headlines from such a casual quote is ridiculous and very funny. I don't even know what Toto Wolff said in response. And I don't think they're actually, I mean, they might be considering like doing more in that line of thinking in terms of aerodynamics, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe that's next year's
Next
car.
year.
And
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Because yeah, they're going to put their focus into next year's car pretty soon,
Yeah.
I guess, which is great.
I think it makes
Hopefully it
sense.
works.
I think they really are doing well enough to fight for second,
Yeah,
and they're not going to fight for first. So
No.
why not put it into
Next year.
next year's
absolutely.
development, you know?
And just bring like minor
it's
stuff
great.
from for now.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Makes sense.
All right. For the speed round, there's a lot of headlines coming. All right. This was a headline heavy week. It was great.
Wow.
It wasn't until it was. I feel like
Yeah, very
it was
suddenly.
slow, and then like all of a sudden
There was a lot.
it was
yeah.
just
In the last few days.
screenshot after screenshot.
Yeah, Silverstone brings out the worst in everyone. No, I'm kidding. The best.
I love it.
I do. It's great. It is a great track. It's a great race.
All right,
Anyways,
let's hear them.
Speed round. Charles Leclerc caught red-handed keeping track of Max Verstappen's championship-winning run on his phone. Lando Norris says F1 trying its best on climate. Brad Pitt appearance made F1 drivers briefing best ever. Fernando Alonso breaks Barcelona vow after British GP qualifying pits him down to P9. Argues Buck doesn't stop at Silverstone. Lando Norris's teammate publicly defames Sergio Perez as a fraud after Silverstone debacle. Max Verstappen erratically costs Red Bull $219,000 amidst red flag at the British Brundle clause thwarted by silent actress Cara Delevingne at F1 British Grand Prix.
A silent actress. That makes it
By
seem like she's
sil- like she does
from the
silent
20s.
movies.
Yeah.
Lance Stroll invites Pierre Gasly to parking lot after British Grand Prix collision. Furious Pierre Gasly nudges Carlos Sainz. Intense paddock exchange at F1 British Grand Prix. Mercedes reveals Red Bull has stolen powertrain engineers for 2026 regulation changes. Toto Wolff gives Charles Leclerc the finger during meeting at British Grand Prix. George Russell on Verstappen. I think he's winning because he wants more money. Hamilton makes huge F1 retirement statement with Mercedes deal still not struck.
Right.
He didn't say anything about retirement
Yeah.
ever.
No
He
one-
said what he said was, I can see myself in this sport for 5 years at least.
Right. Right.
Like
Big announcement.
5 more years at
Big
least.
retirement
And he
announcement.
said, like, we're working on a contract. We're close to finalizing a contract with Mercedes. And
Yeah.
I could see
Wow.
myself at least 5 years.
I would love it.
I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, give me another 2 years of struggling Mercedes.
Oh,
Then
absolutely.
give me a win from Lewis.
You want 2 more years of struggling?
I could do it. I'd watch it.
I
Oh,
could
I mean,
do
I'd
it.
watch
You know,
it. Like,
I think
Oh yeah,
a struggling Mercedes team is so fun to watch.
it is fun.
it is.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little stressful.
It's
Definitely.
so stressful, but it hasn't
But-
been that way before.
I
you
know,
But I
It's
would-
so fun to see them really
I'd
face challenge.
I'd like to get back to them struggling to be number 1 though, not
Definitely.
number
Mm-hmm.
2. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
But they struggle. They get a little closer every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
No, I'm
it's
into it.
true.
I'm
They
into
are
it.
way better than last year.
definitely.
All right, should we
All
talk
right.
about the race?
And that was get the heck out of my headlines. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. What a treat.
I'm glad you enjoy. All right. Shall we talk winners and losers?
Biggest losers.
Biggest losers this week.
Lance.
Lance.
Oh, Aston
Fuck
Martin
that
in
dude.
general. I thought they were going to do better at Silverstone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but Lance,
Lance
was driving
especially.
bad.
He was bad.
He was bad. He really screwed over Gasly.
Ugh.
I would be pissed if I was Pierre.
twice.
Yes.
He screwed over Gasly.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, and he
I
didn't
was waiting for a headline about that.
end
I
up
was
getting a
like,
penalty. No, he did get a 5-second penalty, but
He
there
got-
was another one he didn't get a penalty for.
Yeah.
Right,
Which
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
I thought, a bigger one. That
Yeah, confusing. I don't know. I want him off the grid.
Yeah.
I do.
I really feel like a lot of the early races this season, I was like, he's doing well.
Same.
For
Right?
Stroll, he still wasn't, up
Yeah.
to Alonso's level. but he
Especially
was
with the
doing
injury.
well. Yeah.
And like not having as much practice time in the car, like he
Yeah.
was doing well, and he's really dropped off.
Now
Seems
he's
like every race is worse.
just
Yeah.
out of the points and becoming a liability to the grid.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
getting more annoying because he's annoyed at himself for not doing better,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah, I'm sure he's
so
not.
he's just more annoying.
I'm
He's
sure
driving more
he's not
aggressive.
in the greatest mental.
No, how could you be? It's your team, and you're the number 2 driver.
Well, it's
It's your
his
dad's team.
father's
Yeah.
team.
That's what happens when you hang out with DJ Khaled too much. Bad influence.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely Lance Stroll, biggest loser. I gotta say, Haas, man, they've really been struggling.
Magnussen.
Magnussen, two failures,
yeah.
engine failures in one
Out of
weekend.
nowhere.
Like,
What
and they've
happened?
already gotten a new power unit, so they're gonna have to.
Were you
They're
saying-
gonna have to take a penalty for
Yeah.
the next
Who
one.
was
But this
saying
one
that it's
wasn't-
their last one?
I think this was their last. They're on their last one.
Okay.
Well, this is an old one.
Oh, it is.
I'm
Oh,
pretty sure. I think they have one more.
okay.
But which I think they're putting in the car for next time.
Right.
Yeah,
So this is
sorry,
their
yeah.
last
Now
one.
they're on
So
the
now
last
they're
one.
on their
Yes,
last
yes.
one.
I see.
And the
Exactly.
next time they'll have to take a
They'll have
grid
to take a
penalty,
penalty.
which happens. Everyone ends up doing it usually.
Yeah.
So fine, but like, oh, rough to have that happen.
Yeah. And Hulkenberg was P13.
Yeah,
Meh.
not great.
Meh.
Not his best. Not his best weekend.
No.
Yeah, rough.
But I mean,
But
what were you gonna
a
s-
team did worse. than
yeah, are you going to say
Alpine. Alpine.
Alpine.
That
Boo
was.
DNF.
I know.
Double DNF.
And
that
no,
sucks.
no fault of Pierre
No.
No.
for his DNF.
No, that
No.
sucks.
And no fault of Ocon either.
Ocon,
The drivers
car
were
just, like,
the
literally
car.
They were like,
It was a
oh, no,
hydraulic.
it's not okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you gotta bring it in.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, what? What's wrong?
Ah, so rough for them.
Very rough. And they should be fighting better. They should be fighting at the place that McLaren is, honestly. I mean, maybe not
Well,
quite there, but I mean, they should
yeah.
have been this whole season.
This whole season,
And
they
they've
should have
just been
better.
struggling and been so inconsistent. Had some great races,
Mm-hmm.
but then, like, stuff like this happens. Like, a
Right.
full failure of the setup or something with the hydraulics, and then obviously Lance Stroll happened to the other one. But
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Ugh.
I wonder
So,
if Ryan
so
Reynolds
annoying.
is
Come on,
rethinking his
Ryan
investment.
What are you doing?
Well, he just bought in. Do you think he has say on anything yet? will ever.
Great question. Great
Like,
question.
it's about money, right?
But I do think we have to blame him
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
for all of their mistakes.
Yeah.
Come
I
on,
mean,
Ryan.
Yeah.
Do better.
Do better.
Mr.
The
Reynolds.
only explanation.
Oh. They should change the name to Reynolds Renault.
Ooh.
Right?
Actually.
Right?
Or Deadpool.
Man, the bottom 14, like the bottom 10, it was just kind of really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Bodas wasn't much from him. Joe
But he got
wasn't much
12.
from him.
Logan Sargent, great finish. 11.
P11, but
Yeah,
according to
the
Alex
Williams-
Albon, that's the worst
It is.
position to be in.
Absolutely.
It is,
It
because you
is.
want that point.
Yeah.
But it really, their
They did
car
a lot.
really good. This
We'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah,
We'll get there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say Perez was a loser this weekend.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
so.
Good point. And
Still
like
a good
I
comeback drive.
good comeback drive. Obviously, it's going to be harder to come back than he did in Austria, even because he was fighting from the same place. People thought maybe he could make it back to the podium because he did in Austria, but it's way easier to overtake there. It was hard.
Yeah.
Like he took a long time to start overtaking, really. And
Yeah, that's what they were saying, is that like
Yeah.
it just didn't look like he was able to.
yeah. I mean, it's harder to do it,
And it
here.
is harder, but he was able to later in the race. and
That's
he
true.
was
But
picking up
after they
pace.
all got bunched up again, yeah.
True.
He just had a hard time early on for
Safety
some
car.
reason. Yeah. So, biggest loser for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad, Checo. Oh, and Ferrari.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ferrari.
That was
Big
Oh my
that was a rough weekend.
What was that strategy?
They're getting tumultuous with each other. You got Carlos overtaking Charles
in the pit lane.
vice versa in the pit lane. So apparently they released them just out of their garage at the same time, and then they know that they're going to have to switch places immediately in the pit lane,
For
which is
qualifying,
weird.
right?
Yeah.
For qualifying, yeah. And then near the end of I think Q2, I can't remember. Yeah, I think Q2, Carlos overtook Charles, which he's not supposed to do for track position before the flying lap. And he did that because other people were passing him and Charles, and he was worried about getting track position to be able to get in a lap. And he was one place below than Charles on the grid already.
Sure.
So he just did it.
Right.
And it was like, yeah, you're not supposed to do that. And Charles got mad, made a comment on the radio.
So
yeah.
That was like real nice.
Yeah. And then later was like, that was too aggressive on the radio.
Have you heard anyone else's radio messages?
Right? Like,
Oh, man.
you're fine. Like, have you heard Carlos's
I know.
radio messages? That's so funny. But they're fine, except Ferrari's not fine.
They're
That was
not
rough.
fine.
They made all the wrong choices. Yet again, tried to make a weird undercut move with Charles that didn't make sense. They brought him in way too early off those medium tires to try and undercut people
They
in the softs.
keep doing that.
They
I
keep
feel
doing
like.
it. They're not good at these strategic decisions. They're taking risks without the data to support them. Like, it's
Yeah, they
not
put-
there.
They pit both cars, put them from mediums to hards.
Yeah.
The hards were not doing well.
Nobody else used hards. It was mediums and softs.
Like these are strategies that Albin talks about that Williams does, right? You
Yeah.
gotta shoot because you could get lucky.
Yeah.
And it's good. And
Exactly.
that's- if you're a bad car,
Yeah.
you should do
Anything.
those things and try them.
Ferrari's not a
risks.
terrible
They're
car.
not a terrible car. They could be just doing solid.
Yes.
strategy.
They could have had a fine race.
Yeah.
And they just didn't.
And instead ended up 9 and 10. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
They
there's that
qualified
one
way
point-
faster.
At 1.3 cars passed, who was it, Sainz?
Sainz,
At once?
yeah.
Like, including Leclerc?
Yeah, because and I think Alex.
Alex was one of them. It was
Yeah.
Fernando, Alex, and Sainz just swooped on past Leclerc,
Yeah.
who was on older hard
And
tires.
yeah, Alex ended up ahead of both of them.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh my
That should
gosh.
not be happening. I know the Williams is looking better, but that should not be happening. It shouldn't be. It's not that good.
Yeah, you're sandwiched. Are you sandwiched in between the
A lot-
Williams? Yes.
Yeah. Ferrari got sandwiched by Williams.
Yeah.
Wild. That does not make sense.
So.
But I love it Because everyone's so close here. Like, that can
So
happen
close.
this season.
Yeah.
That could never happen before.
I know.
Wild.
The right wind conditions. All of a sudden, Williams better than
Right?
Ferrari.
Right?
Yeah, Alex is like, oh, yeah, the wind was just kind of better for our car.
Yeah.
Can't explain it.
Yeah. Seems
Other
like more
people were having
really
issues.
affected by it. Yeah.
We didn't have as many issues.
Yeah.
Don't know why. So funny. He's just great with that car, though, too. But
Yes,
Logan
absolutely.
also
He
had a
did a
good
good job.
race.
Hmm. Yeah.
Honestly.
Should we move on to winners?
Yeah, let's move on to winners since we're
Yeah.
talking about
We're
There's
talking
some good
about-
winners.
Albin.
And Williams.
Williams is a
Winner.
whole. That's
Absolutely.
a rare sight. Williams is a winner.
Yeah.
Right?
And Alex has been looking better in the Williams as of late, which is
Yes.
nice to see.
Yep.
But both of them doing better and the car actually seeming solid
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Like,
whole
he was
weekend.
solidly racing. It wasn't as
Yeah.
much like, oh, I got in the right spot and defended super well.
Yeah.
Which was impressive too. But it was just like straight up racing.
And overtaking, right.
Overtaking.
And not getting like lucky either, like with the safety car or anything
Yeah.
like that. It's like,
Yeah.
no, we just
Just
got there.
On merit.
Right.
It's great. It's so good. I just like it's baffling to me. It's wild to see that car up there. It is. And good for Logan for getting that close to Alex.
Absolutely.
Right
Yeah,
behind
it's
the
the
two
first
Ferraris.
time
Yeah.
they've had like, I don't know.
They almost got two
Latifi was
cars
just
in the points.
So bad.
Oh,
So
he was
bad.
terrible.
Just so
He
bad.
was
That it's like there's
terrible.
this car just can't, like this team just
Yeah.
can't do well with this.
No.
He just brought
And the car
everything
was
down.
also so bad
Mm-hmm.
last year and the year before, but he made it worse. Yeah, Alex was trying, and Latifi was like, "I'm just gonna hit this wall instead." Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. so
At least
good for
Sargent
you.
isn't breaking the car as much.
No, he's doing
Yeah.
fine.
He's doing fine. And
He's doing
an
all right.
improvement this weekend.
Yeah.
Definitely an
Great.
improvement. And yeah, now they both have upgrades, and like the car's looking much better. So good. Yeah, when the last upgrade I think was it Canada or what?
I thought so, but
They might have brought
Yeah.
more since then, but I can't remember.
But again,
Either way.
I don't think Logan Sargent is doing necessarily better than Nick DeVries.
I agree.
I think he's doing a good job, but he also has had some rough races,
Yeah.
as has Nick, and I don't think that
And they're not the easiest cars to drive in the first
They
place.
are, yeah,
So
the
and
worst
they're-
cars to drive.
And these are their first Formula One cars to like get used to.
so.
That's tough.
I just think
so tough.
Yeah.
Nick DeVries is getting
Yeah.
a bad deal.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
And I think that there is something about all these other rookies doing better in these past couple of races.
But in
it's
better
because
cars.
their cars are improving.
The
Yeah.
cars are improving.
AlphaTauri's not improving.
Yeah,
No.
Yuki has not been doing better.
No. He's been
doing
it would
worse
be a different
recently.
story if Yuki was doing way better, but he's been doing worse in these past few races.
Yeah, the
as
car
well.
is bad.
It's the car.
So bad.
It's a bad car.
Speaking of rookies who had a bad car and then did great when they were in a great car, Oscar Piastri.
Oscar Piastri.
Yes.
That
Big
he really
winner.
was not keeping up with Lando in the worst car,
Yes.
No.
but when
Got a
just
good
put him in
car.
a good car,
And he was keeping up.
he knew what to do with it.
Fighting for a podium
Really
Honestly,
fighting for a podium.
as a rookie
Yes.
in a McLaren that works great. In a McLaren
Yeah, McLaren.
that's working again. Like,
Yeah.
hasn't been a good car since Lewis drove it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Been like
And then
middle of the
especially
pack.
bad at the beginning of this year.
Yeah, terrible.
I feel like they were doing pretty well when
Slow improvements.
Yeah.
slow improvements and like top of the middle, and then
Yeah.
this year kind of like bottom of the middle, and like
This year they said
Really?
we're not going to be in the middle, whatever we do.
Yeah.
We're gonna be at the back or we're going to be fighting at the front.
right? And now
I
they
guess
did.
I guess
they
that
did
is
both.
what they're doing.
So
All right,
funny.
accurate statement.
Yeah. But McLaren, big winners this weekend.
Big
Probably
winners.
the biggest winners
Yes.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Zach Brown, biggest winner this weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zach Brown, the enthusiasm,
The enthusiasm. Yeah.
the high fives, the
So many
those
high
look like they
fives.
hurt.
Yeah.
A
Like,
lot.
ooh, that's not the energy I need. But hey,
Hey,
be proud.
it's
So,
the energy
yeah.
exciting.
that Zach
Yeah.
Brown
You
has.
can't argue with that energy. Honestly, you deserve it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe where they brought that car from.
No.
From
That
like
was-
a couple weeks ago
I mean,
to now.
Lando defending off Lewis after the safety car
Incredible.
on hard tires. Lewis
right?
is on soft tires. There's so many instances where it was like, oh, Lewis is going to get it.
No.
Lando just held that position. And I was like, how is this
like,
McLaren doing
That was
that?
great
'cause
driving.
A lot of it was them getting next to each other, and if the Mercedes had been a faster
Yeah.
car,
It could have done it.
It could've done it,
but
yeah.
it wasn't.
Just
It was
didn't. Yeah.
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 outdriven
It didn't
and
have
a
the
better
right
car.
the right balance on the
Mm-hmm.
was it the quick turns? Yeah, on the quick turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was better on the
Mercedes.
slow turns.
Yes.
And Silverstone's a lot of quick turns.
And Mercedes doesn't have the straight line speed.
Also that, yeah. Just couldn't pull it back. And then your tires give out faster because you are on softs.
Yes.
And,
And, okay.
And then the hards paid
McLaren
off.
Did something to those hard tires that no other car did.
Yeah.
Like
Even-
they did something there. I don't know.
That was weird. That was confusing.
And the whole team was so confident. Like they
Yeah.
really were like, I think there was just
Because
something
Lando was
about
like,
the
give
car,
me softs.
maybe high deg with these new
Maybe.
upgrades. I don't
Right.
know. Like,
Maybe.
I don't know either.
But
But
they were like, I don't know. You're not gonna believe this, but we think hards are the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
Like, that was the
They're
radio
very-
messages.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Although that was before the safety car. Had they pitted under the safety car, I think they might have put softs on. Because they pit right before.
No,
or Oscar
didn't-
did at least.
didn't one of them pit?
Lando pit under the safety car.
And they
and they
put
put him
hards
on
on.
hards. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was weird.
That was weird.
That
but
was
it
weird. Because it was
actually
between two soft tires. It worked.
But it worked.
But
worked. Like what?
I will also
happened?
make the argument that had they put on soft tires, Lando could have fought for
He could have fought Max
the lead again. Not that he would have
You
won the
could have
race,
fought-
but he could have fought
sure.
for the lead
Yeah.
On the restart.
on
Right.
the restart. And then also, had you put Oscar on softs, he could have fought to overtake
Lewis.
George.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
No.
Yeah, oh, no, overtake
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah. George was behind Oscar.
Yeah.
To overtake Lewis, and you could have potentially had a double podium.
Yes, but they've been doing so bad.
Yeah,
Well, we're
take the
talking about with
safe route.
Ferrari. You don't need to do the risky strategy.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
You're
You know,
right.
Go with what is going to get you where you're at right now.
I just would have loved to
chill
see that,
there.
I guess.
Yeah.
Granted, I'd love to see Lewis on the podium always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. But yeah, McLaren, good choices. Mm-hmm. Good choices all around. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Fun to see both of them driving up there and driving very well.
Yeah.
It's good to see,
mean, yeah.
like, what Oscar can actually do with a car.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Oscar
good.
was
He had a great race.
the race start. He was like right there with Max.
Man, their start was
Had-
incredible. Both of them
both
had
of
a
them. I mean,
great
Lando
start.
obviously had an amazing start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. So, yeah, to drive at the front of your home race, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
For
cool.
like 5 laps.
Yeah.
That's a long time
Amazing.
to have
a
Max behind you.
long time to
Yeah.
have Max in your rear view
That's
mirrors.
pretty much as much time as he's spent behind any car this
Right.
whole season.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll also call Mercedes winners.
Yes.
Yep.
I was
They
ready
were.
to call them losers this weekend after qualifying. I
Yeah.
was like, this is not it.
I had faith.
But they brought that back. Yeah.
Yeah.
They fought for it. I knew they wanted it, and I
Yeah.
knew they were going to go try, but man, good work.
I'm glad one of them got on the podium for
Same.
sure.
Me too.
Same.
And I'm glad it was
Yeah.
Lewis.
yeah.
I'm also glad it was
Happy
Lewis.
Lewis got
I feel a little bad for George because he was driving great. He made
Oh,
all the
yeah.
right choices except for one.
No, it was just that he
just-
didn't benefit from his earlier pit because
Yeah.
of the safety car.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
just bad luck.
exactly.
Yeah. He just
Just
had
bad
less
luck.
of an advantage than he would have had.
Exactly. And that advantage usually I feel like goes to George when
Yes,
it comes
it
to
does
that.
a lot.
Like
Fully.
Lewis loses out a lot in those situations, and this time it was flipped, and that happens. It is too bad. I wish George had a better opportunity
Right.
because who knows, it could have ended up being a double Mercedes podium again.
Yeah.
That could have been cool.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah,
but-
definitely winners.
Winners for sure.
Any? Well, I mean, there's an obvious winner, but
Yeah, but it was also his like the worst lead he had all season.
let's
So-
try
Right, well,
to tear
So
him
Max
down.
is actually one of
Yeah.
the biggest losers.
He did not have space to take an unnecessary pit stop this race.
True.
I think maybe at any point.
But he did get the fastest lap anyways.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. He did.
yeah. No, he's still
In all
he's
the
still
points,
got
all the
everything.
statistics, all the actual
Yeah.
events. Yes, he's a
Yeah,
winner
he won
always.
everything.
Yeah.
Like as per usual, blah blah blah. Good job, Max. You're incredible. Unbreakable form.
So driver of the day?
Hey, I'm surprised the FIA didn't end up on our list of losers this week.
They are losers.
They're always
They're
losers.
definitely
Always
the
are.
losers,
Thank
but
you for
like
saying
they
that.
didn't have a big reason. Like they weren't as annoying this week, so that's good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm like
You
trying
were
to think
a little
of some.
bit less of a loser.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were.
I'm sure there was something, but I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, driver of the day. The official driver of the day was Lando Norris.
Lando Norris.
I think
mean,
I agree.
I think I also definitely agree with that. I can't think of anybody that.
I mean,
Lewis had a great race.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. Great
But Lando had a
driving, but
better
Lando had a better race.
It was more, yeah,
yes, Albin.
sure.
Albin
There
did
was
have a
some
good race
really
too.
good racing in there.
Yeah, a
but
lot of good
Lando, I think,
overtaking.
should be overall, but
Yeah, I think a good argument could be made for Alex,
yeah.
especially for the like a couple risky but effective choices he made, like when he passed the Ferraris, or Carlos at least joined that passing train.
Yes.
It was just like
Yes.
kind of a split-second decision, and he went
A
for
lot
it,
of
and it
smart
could have gone bad.
decisions.
And he just did a good job.
And he just did a great job, and it
So
worked out
solid.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I
But
love to see
Lando
those things.
Absolutely destroyed it.
Yes,
So-
and absolutely deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we had a year where Williams and McLaren were fighting for the championship,
Yeah.
how cool would that be?
Yeah. They
That'd
would be fighting
like
Red Bull for sure, but
what?
they would be fighting Red Bull.
No, I mean like 5-10 years. You know,
Yeah.
because
Anything
I
could
think
happen.
because I think it's going to be Red Bull for a while, at least until 26, and
could
then
be 26. That could be a good time.
yeah, it could be a good time for
McLaren's
anybody.
Gonna be have a lot of
And then
upgrades in
maybe
26.
Mercedes fighting with them for it
Mhm.
until then. And then who knows? Then anything could happen. Yeah, after 26.
I mean, you see all the changes that have already happened on the grid from last year to this
Absolutely. Anything could
year.
happen.
It could be anyone's game.
It's really fun. I love it. Ah, it's such an exciting sport.
All right. Question of the day.
Question of the day.
Question of the day is which actors would play each of the drivers in a feature film?
Brad Pitt inspired. I see.
Brad Pitt inspired.
Brad Pitt plays Alonso.
I mean,
And
yeah.
okay, so actually the drivers did, as like an F1 promotion thing at the beginning of the year, they did answer this question of like who they would want to play
Oh, sure.
themselves.
But they gave like
And their answers sucked.
Weird
so I
answers.
think we can give better answers to this
Definitely.
question. But I do want to compare what they said.
all right, first and
to-
foremost, I'm fairly positive about this one.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton would be played by Damson Idris. Because he kind of
If it was up to
is.
Lewis, that would be the case because
It is.
what's
that's
Yeah,
the-
that's
the
what's
situation.
happening.
Yes.
That's who's playing him, basically.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to keep that, obviously, but that is the definitive answer for that one.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true. Let's see. Okay, well, let's start with some of the ones who gave answers. Because not all the drivers answered the question.
Oh,
of
sure.
who they would want to play. And Hamilton didn't actually answer. So,
That tracks.
okay, so the Red Bulls, Verstappen said Leonardo DiCaprio, and Perez said Tom Cruise.
What?
I think
Wait, what?
A lot of them said Tom Cruise, though.
Sure.
Tom Cruise kind of looks like Perez, I think.
I think
I don't know.
that
Yeah.
I think Pedro Pascal could play Perez.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Well, I think Pedro Pascal can play anybody, but and I think he's just a
Yes.
great actor.
Yeah.
So, but I'd love to see him play Checo.
I feel like they have a similar like
Yeah.
build and energy. I don't know. I feel like you
Definitely.
can get into it.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. I like that.
I
Pedro
think-
Pascal is a good one.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Lando Norris, a young Leo.
Oh, young Leo.
Young Leo.
Oh,
Sure.
young yeah.
I like
does
this
look
idea
like-
that we can pick their age.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure. It
Well, I don't know.
was like if this movie comes out in the future, everyone's going to be a little bit
No,
old.
yeah, I'm saying if this movie was
Sure.
made about now, but in the past.
Yeah, but with a-
Leo
but
would
past
play
Leo.
the future version of Lando.
For sure.
I could see that.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Lando actually had an answer that was like acceptable. That he said Tom Holland.
Oh,
which I
funny.
could also see.
I could see that.
But I
see
think
that.
that
No.
young Leonardo DiCaprio makes more sense.
I think Tom Holland plays Oscar Piastri.
Oh,
That I could
funny.
see.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like that.
That's a good one.
I like that.
And it's just time for his cameo right now. At this point in the season. We've been talking about him. Haven't been seeing him much.
Who? Tom Holland?
Tom Holland as Oscar Piastri.
As Oscar
Yeah.
Piastri.
And then here he is.
Yeah.
Here he is.
I love it.
He's arrived.
Right behind
That's a
Leo.
good pairing. That works for me.
I said Verstappen could be played by Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. Oh, man. These are
Right?
good.
There's something that's making me say Timothy Chalamet
Okay.
Okay.
as Logan Sargent.
Interesting. I would
I
go
kinda
with
see it.
I would
I
go
don't
with
know.
a Chris Evans
For Logan?
for Logan Sargent. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think the energy's right.
Sure. I guess he just looks so American to me, and so does Chris Evans. But
Sure.
I just don't know the personality of Logan that much.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
he's a brooding side character, Timothy Chalamet type. That's what I'm projecting onto him,
Okay.
I think is what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
interesting.
into
I
it.
project a little bit more bro energy, but
I think there's some bro energy in there.
sure. And there is
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
That's
It
what-
has
yeah,
bro energy for sure. All right. I see that.
Yeah.
I think a Chris plays Kevin Magnussen.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense to
Yeah.
me.
Magnussen said Tom Cruise.
I don't see
Like,
No
okay,
way.
Tom
That's
Cruise,
not-
everybody.
okay, but-
Yeah.
The funniest ones were Joe and Sonoda.
Oh, I know Sonoda's.
Sonoda said Jason Statham.
Oh, yeah. Right,
Obviously.
right.
So
And-
funny.
Joe said The Rock.
The Rock
Like,
to play Joke on You.
yes. I was like, that's
The
who you want
Rock?
to play you.
That's so wild.
Interesting.
What a different energy
Yeah.
Yeah.
and body, like completely different body in
both of them,
every
like, those
aspect
are-
from both
Yeah,
of
but
those.
CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
sure,
yeah, yeah,
sure.
Easy,
It's fine.
easy, easy.
Yeah, it's easy to make people smaller.
Yeah.
I think Sonoda
Evans.
could be played by Stephen Ewan,
Oh, I could
I'd
see
watch
that.
that for sure.
Definitely
Right?
would watch that. That'd be hilarious.
especially after Beef.
Right? I was like, his character in Beef. Now I
yeah.
very much see that. Like that could absolutely be Yuki Tsunoda in another life.
Right?
Yeah. If he didn't become a Formula One driver and was instead an American, just like failing handyman.
Right. And we are saying a young Stephen Yeun.
A young, yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, for sure. That's so funny. I like that.
Yeah. Leclerc said Noah Schnapp
Oh, yeah. From Stranger
from
Things.
Stranger Things. Will from Stranger Things.
That's
They do
honestly pretty
Oh,
good.
what?
alike.
That actually
They look
kind of
alike.
works.
Yeah.
They showed a side by
in.
side picture of a young Leclerc
Yeah.
and Noah, and they looked very similar.
Wow. I could see it.
Wild. Yeah. No, I like that.
Make
That's a good
movie
one.
right now about Leclerc's like F3 career with Noah.
With Noah.
Yeah. That'd be great.
George Russell he didn't have an answer.
They didn't-
Sure. No
What did-
Mercedes.
No
what would you
Mercedes. I don't know. I mean,
And Eddie Redmayne?
Eddie Redmayne, possibly.
I kind of like that.
Eddie Redmayne definitely belongs in an F1 movie.
He does.
Right?
Is
Ooh,
it George?
honestly,
Maybe.
Pierre Gasly.
Oh, that's a better one. That's a
Oh.
better one. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
George Russell is played by the toy Woody from Toy Story. In this otherwise non-animated film, it's an animated version of Woody.
It's just an animated version of
Oh my
Woody.
God. This movie is.
And Tom
It's
Hanks.
gonna
Top
be good.
notch.
And Tom Hanks is voicing him?
it,
Okay.
absolutely. So I guess Tom Hanks is George Russell
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say.
Amazing. And Tom Hanks as Woody, as George
As-
Russell.
Yes.
So so funny.
I mean, Tom Hanks did a Wes Anderson movie, so he'll do anything now.
Oh, is he in the latest one? Is it good?
I love it.
Cool.
Okay.
We'll
I've
move
got
on
a lot
from
of
there.
Wes Anderson thoughts. We cannot talk about it right
We'll
now.
We
get there.
cannot. I was nervous.
Yeah, we
I was
can't
like,
start.
this
No,
could
no.
turn into Jared and Josiah's other podcast
Oh,
really quickly.
yeah, absolutely.
I think Paul Rudd could play Stroll. I think he could do a
Definitely.
good Stroll.
Totally.
Yeah,
I like
that's the
that.
one.
Yeah. Just kind of.
Or Kieran
Yeah.
McCulkin.
Okay.
Oh.
I was gonna say any Culkin, Nick DeFries.
Oh.
Okay.
Every Culkin has a face that looks like a Culkin, and I think Nick DeFries kind of looks like that.
Nick DeVries has a Culkin face.
Yeah.
Face has a Culkin face.
You heard it here first.
Are there 3 Culkin brothers? Or more?
I
Well, I know
only know of
Macaulay
the 2
and
that
Kieran.
are.
So-
But there's often a third that's...
I saw a third one recently. That's why I'm like, is there more?
You saw a third one.
And I've seen him in other stuff. I didn't know he was a Culkin, but he really looks like him. And in
Sure.
a certain light, I was like, oh, wait, what?
Sure.
Looked it up. Rory Culkin.
Oh, Rory.
Oh.
I feel like I've heard of
Okay.
I've probably seen
He's in
him
a new
something.
Black Mirror episode, which is where I saw
Sure.
it recently. But-
Oh, okay.
Funny.
So Rory Culkin, Nick DeFries, and I think I believe that.
Cool.
We're good at casting.
We are
So
good
good.
at casting. We should do this.
Lewis, give us a call next time you're making a movie.
Yeah,
we'll
we'll
help you with
pick, we'll,
casting.
we'll pick Damson Idris for you.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
I really okay, here's the thing. I think he's playing young Lewis, right? Mm-hmm. In the movie.
Yeah. And Brad
I
Pitt's
think-
playing old Fernando.
Old Fernando. I think if you made a movie about current Lewis, I think
Sure.
Lewis plays him.
Ooh.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. A-list celebrity.
Totally.
Playing himself.
Playing himself. That would be an interesting
could see
movie.
it.
I'd definitely watch that.
Yeah.
I
You'd
could
have to
see
have a
it.
good director. Really
Yes.
good director.
Do we know the director of?
It's
No.
the same as Mission Impossible.
Oh, no, as Top Gun.
It's Top Gun. Top
Yeah.
Gun. Maverick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Whoever did that.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Cool. Well, that was fun. Send us your questions at motosportpod@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you. Last segment, Minnesota Moments.
Minnesota Moments.
Minnesota Moments.
Mine was just
Yeah, I got it.
Zach Brown. I feel like his reaction was very Minnesota
I thought
sport
about that.
parent
Yeah.
reaction. Just like such a proud dad.
Yeah.
And like when they were interviewing
That's great.
Lando after qualifying, and you see like Zach buzzing around in the background with like just like that goony smile.
Like, did you
and
see
it's
my
like,
kids? You see how good they
yeah,
did?
right.
Yeah,
like
sure.
literally, just like so, and just
That's
with
amazing.
his dad vest with the
Yeah.
short sleeve shirts,
Great
and the
Midwestern
gym
dad.
shoot.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a Midwestern dad.
Yeah. Proud
Yeah.
Midwestern dad.
Absolutely. That's good. I like that
Mm-hmm.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, him and Otmar, they're the Midwestern dads on the
They
grid.
really are.
What was yours?
Oh, mine was also McLaren. So
Mine was also McLaren.
Oh, so we all did
I
McLaren.
bet- I wonder if we have the same
I
one.
think we might.
Was it Norris?
Yeah.
Oh, in the interview?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Last
no,
interview?
yeah,
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 yeah.
So Norris's interview after the race, just with David Coulthard.
Like the post race interview.
Yeah, the post race interview
Okay.
talking about cheers
As
for
soon as you're done.
yay for second.
Yeah.
In front for all the crowd and whatnot. He's just swatting bugs away.
Swatting bugs
Just, like,
the entire
the whole time. It was so
And
funny.
I was like, that is a Minnesota moment
Yes.
if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. Like every summer, if you're
Yeah.
outside, you're swatting bugs.
You're trying to talk and you're just like
Yeah.
swatting things away.
And nobody's gonna mention it.
No, you just got to do it.
You just have to do it,
Yeah.
and everyone understands. And
Yeah.
It's
they're
a
probably doing
necessity.
it too. It's a necessity. But you're swatting bugs the whole conversation, or at least the part that you're supposed to take seriously. You're swatting bugs, and it's so silly.
That's so funny.
I had a feeling
so-
what like one of you was gonna have the same
yeah,
one
I did
as me.
too. I was
yeah,
like, this is
This
so
is
obvious.
it. This is the moment.
For real. Yeah, like absolutely has to be this. Yeah.
That's so funny. Cool.
Go McLaren.
Go McLaren.
All right, next race is in 2
2
weeks,
weeks.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
hungry.
Go
cool.
Oscar.
Go Oscar.
Oscar
Yeah.
win before Lando.
That'd be funny.
would be funny.
I'd
cool.
feel really bad for Lando, but that would be so cool
Yeah.
for Oscar.
Lando, yeah.
Yeah, okay, maybe Lando won and then Oscar.
I want.
Yeah.
That
I
would be
want
too sad.
Lando.
I would be
Lando.
pretty sad for Lando.
Lando deserves a podium. He was driving better in the race that Daniel got the podium.
Yeah.
So, and it was team
yeah.
orders to keep him behind. So I think that should have been his win.
Yeah.
I mean, he got the podium, but it should have been his first win.
Yeah.
And he still doesn't have a win. So if there's a chance, I think he should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be nice. But we'll see.
We shall see.
You never know.
All right. We'll talk to you after Hungary.
Yes, because I'm hungry.
Hungary. I'm gonna go
Hungry.
Taco Bell.
Ooh.
We love Taco Bell.
We do love Taco Bell.